The Packers beat the Patriots 27-24. Bailey Zapp, the quarterback that was inserted because of Hoyer going out with the concussion, he went 10 of 15, 99 yards, one touchdown for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he went 21 of 35. He threw for 251 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have an interception that was returned back for a touchdown in this game. So, how should Packer fans feel after this game? Honestly, watching this game, it made me, as a Packers fan, lower my expectations for the Packers offensively this season, because I know the Packers put up 27 points in this game. I know offensively overall, the Packers, they had 443 total yards of offense. I know the Packers also had 199 rushing yards between Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. But the reason why I'm going to lower my expectations for the Packers offense is because in previous years, this game that was played at Lambeau Field by a third-string quarterback on the opposing team, this was a game in previous years that, as a Packers fan, I watched and we blew out teams like the New England Patriots in previous years. In previous years, this would have been a blowout. Packers would have beaten this team 31-10, 31-13, maybe even 31-17. It would have been at least a 2-touchdown victory for the Green Bay Packers in previous years. That's why, for me as a Packers fan, I have to lower my expectations for the Packers offense. That doesn't mean that the Packers offense won't improve as the season goes along. What that means is, through the first 4 games of the season, this Packers offense, it looks different, and they're not as explosive this season like they have been in previous years. So I'm watching this game, and I was waiting for the moment for the Packers to take off on the Patriots and run the score up on the Patriots. It did not happen. This was a competitive football game all 5 quarters. It was competitive. And again, I'm glad that the Packers won, because one of the things that I always hear NFL coaches talk about is how they want to be able to teach in moments where they win football games. You don't want to have to teach and you're losing games, because as the season goes along, at some point you're going to have players who check out because they're going to realize the chances of us going to the playoffs are slim. So this guy isn't making any sense. Let's go ahead and start making vacation plans for when the offseason comes. But when you win games in the regular season and you're learning as you go along, it gives you confidence moving forward, because you know we're going to be a playoff team. So things are going to improve as the season goes along. And I think it will, because there were flashes in this game where I thought the Packers receivers showed promise, especially Romeo Doubs. In this game, Romeo Doubs, he went 5 receptions, 47 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Alan Lazard, he had 6 receptions, 116 receiving yards, had a crucial 3rd down catch in the 3rd quarter of this game. And then Romeo Doubs, in the 4th quarter, late, he had an opportunity to catch the go-ahead game-winning touchdown pass. Aaron Rodgers put it on him on the right side of the field, up the sideline. Romeo Doubs did everything right but complete the catch. Reminded me of Dez Bryant's catch in the playoffs in 2016, I believe, when the Cowboys were at Lambeau Field in a major playoff game. And the pass was called incomplete. And honestly, I thought it was a catch. I knew Dez had caught the football and was trying to reach across the goal line, it was a touchdown catch in my book, but they ruled it incomplete because they say you have to complete the process of the catch. And that's what happened in this particular play with Romeo Doubs. Caught the pass from Aaron Rodgers, tucked the football, but he could not complete the catch as he went to the ground. And Packers ended up having to punt, and the game went on to overtime. But I thought in the overtime, Aaron Rodgers, he still threw the ball to Romeo Doubs. Doubs had 2 crucial catches on the Packers' last possession when they kicked the game-winning field goal. So I hear all these experts, specifically Colin Cowherd on FS1, who I got a lot of respect for as a sports analyst. I love the job that he does for Fox Sports. He's a great sports broadcaster. But he's been talking about how Aaron Rodgers, he basically tunes out young receivers when they make mistakes. He doesn't keep them involved in the offense. And I couldn't disagree with Colin more, because in this game, in overtime, Aaron Rodgers still threw the ball to Romeo Doubs at critical moments of the football game. So even though Doubs dropped Aaron Rodgers' game-winning touchdown pass, he still gave him opportunities to make plays in overtime. This narrative that Aaron Rodgers just ignores young receivers once they make mistakes and doesn't involve them in the offense is false. It's a false narrative. I really wish Colin Cowherd would quit saying that, because it's wrong. It's not the reality. In this game, Aaron Rodgers did throw his 500th career touchdown pass. He became the 5th player in NFL history with at least 500 touchdown passes. I think Brett Favre was on that list. Obviously, Drew Brees and Tom Brady are at the top of that list. Expect Aaron Rodgers to climb that ladder on that list as his career goes along. But I think Packers fans should feel optimistic, because that's how I feel. I'm optimistic about the Packers moving forward. You look at so far this season, their receiving core and their numbers this year. Romeo Doubs leads the way, 19 receptions, 184 receiving yards. Alan Lazard, 12 receptions, 174 receiving yards. Randall Cobb, who's having a great bounce-back season, 10 receptions, 150 receiving yards, turning back that clock. Sammy Watkins, who's been on IR, 6 receptions, 111 receiving yards. Christian Watson, 6 receptions, 51 receiving yards. So as the season goes along, I expect some of these young receivers like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs to improve and get on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. One of the positives for the Packers is they have a great rushing attack with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. In this game, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon had 199 rushing yards combined. And I believe they are the strength of this Packers offense. It's the rushing attack. So if they can establish the running game with Dillon, with Jones, and the defense can play good defense throughout the season, improve as the season goes along, I think the Packers are true contenders in the NFC. I really, really do. Now, so far this season, defensively, besides week 3, the Packers haven't been challenged. Now, week 1, they did go up against the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins, and I think that Kirk Cousins-led offense is elite. They got great skill position players in Adam Thielen, in Justin Jefferson, and they got Dalvin Cook in the backfield, and Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. So I think week 1 and week 3, the Packers defense was challenged. Week 3, Buccaneers also didn't have none of their receivers in that game. So Tom Brady was throwing the receivers who are not very good, and they're not going to be involved in the offense as the season goes along. But that just shows you how loaded the Bucs are. But I think the Packers defense will improve as the season goes along. They got the